That's hot. You eat that for breakfast?
Wakes you up in the morning, no?
Wakes you up?
Yeah.
I normally use an alarm clock. It's funky, it's quirky. You've taken the humble tin of baked beans, which is ready-made, and you've spiced it. You've given it some power.
Definitely a shock, yeah. I mean, I don't even use a tin opener at work at all. I mean, I can try and come up with something that I've done at home, I guess.
It's all coming together in my head, so the plan is I'm going to really sort of focus in on my Mediterranean roots.
I'm very clueless right now. I'm trying to put it together as I go along, to be honest. Nothing in mind. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do, to be honest.
Food that goes into tins and jars generally is at its freshest. We put it into jars and tins to preserve it, to look after it. There's a lovely array of ingredients that we've chosen for them. They can take inspiration from anywhere around the world.
We know with preserved ingredients, you can create fantastic savoury dishes and desserts. And I'm expecting something special.
I had a minute to think and came up with a couple of ideas, and they've had all of the ingredients for my first idea, so I'm going with that. How do you get spam out of a tin?
So I'm just getting the base on for the beans.
Junior sous chef Anthony currently works at a Michelin-starred restaurant in London, and he has proved he can deliver some well-presented classic cookery.
I'd say there's two sides to me as a chef. I definitely love a plan, but there's definitely times at home or in the kitchen that I could just spur of the moment, just bring things together. So I really do enjoy doing that as well.
How are you doing, Anthony?
Yeah, doing well, doing well. I like the challenge.
You like the challenge?
Yeah, I'm excited by it, to be honest.
Well, tell us, what's inspired your dish today? What are you doing?
Breakfast has inspired me, to be honest, with the baked beans. So I'm going to do them spiced masala baked beans.
Baked beans. Oh, you're brave.
I want to give them a lift, really, a little bit of kick and spice.
What else are you putting into the dish that's going to give it the real wow factor?
So on the side it's panis, so chickpea crisp, rolled in pistachios.
Like little soldiers to be dipping into the beans.
Exactly.
Beans and chips for breakfast. Hey, bring it on, Anthony.
Anthony has chosen the most famous beans in the country. He's going to take them to a whole new level. That alone is a challenge.
Anthony has cut up some sourdough circles, which is going to coat with sumac, and that's going to be like the crunch you cut through when you eat your beans. He's got a chickpea crisp, which is coated in turmeric and pistachios. He looks like he's enjoying it, and he's confident it's going to be something with texture and it's going to be something stunning.
Chefs, you're halfway. You've had 30 minutes.
Self-taught sous chef John has stood out in the competition with his passion for showcasing foraged ingredients and creative flavour combinations.
John is doing a take on cassoulet using tinned ham and cockles. The cassoulet is like stewed beans. The beans got a lovely texture to them.
We've got some dried mushrooms, which is going to be turning those into a sauce. We've got artichokes.
The tin asparagus was not good. It's really overcooked, so I needed a new vegetable element. So we're going crispy artichokes.
The pressed ham. Generally, people don't cook it, but he's going to put this into his cassoulet with the cockles. So I hope he tests it, cooks a piece, tries it out. Sometimes it can also be quite salty as well, so he needs to be very careful about the amount that he puts into this dish.
Creating dishes is one of the more enjoyable parts. I think if you don't enjoy coming up with ideas and then seeing them through to fruition, through trials, tasting them, and then seeing them go out into the dining room and customers love them, that's what cooking's all about.
John, you love foraging, you love fresh ingredients. I suppose you don't visit the pantry that often.
It's not the kind of food I'm used to cooking in a restaurant, but it's definitely not the scariest challenge it could have been. I grew up fairly not well off, so this is kind of the food we ate growing up. Also started off cooking in not very fresh food places. Actually had one disgruntled chef leave the restaurant, and his leaving gift was to take all the labels off every tin. So staff food for quite a while was chicken breast and 3 tins.
First up is junior sous chef Anthony, who has used the tinned ingredients to make a breakfast dish of masala-spiced baked beans topped with crispy tinned ham and sumac crouton. Served with a panis, or chickpea chip in a pistachio crumb and a coriander and lime dip.
That's hot. You eat that for breakfast?
Wakes you up in the morning, no?
It wakes you up?
Yeah.
I normally use an alarm clock. It's funky, it's quirky. You've taken the humble tin of baked beans, which is ready-made, and you've spiced it. You've given it some power. The crispy bread on top is lovely. I love the crispy ham that you've used as well. But I think you could have done a little bit more, and I think you could have been a touch more adventurous.
That has got a kick. That definitely is hot, but I like hot. And you've still got the light sweetness underneath it of the baked beans. The curry chickpea panis, I quite like that with the pistachio on the outside, but I didn't think your lime cream had much to bring to it. I see your cheeky side in this, Anthony.
Anthony, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The beans are a bit controversial and they're a bit simple, but I really wanted to go down the Indian route, and I think I pulled it off. Can't go wrong with baked beans, huh?
Sous Chef John's dish is centered around the tinned ham, which he has fried and served on cannellini bean and cockle cassoulet, with crispy preserved artichoke hearts and a dried mushroom cream sauce.
I like the way you've crisped the ham. You've brought the flavour out of that. The beans, you've got a nice sauce wrapped around them. I like the deep frying of the artichokes, and the dried mushrooms create this lovely mushroom sauce. You've got some nice ideas here, John. I think it's a very nice plate of food.
Thank you.
John, the challenge was to use tinned and preserved jars, and I think you've really made a good selection. Tinned ham, it's great, isn't it? I mean, it's something I grew up with as a kid. It was always in the cupboard. But like this, I thought you had a bit of fun with it. For me, your cassoulet, the way you've stewed the beans down and then finished with the mushroom sauce, works together so well. The artichoke is a bit on the bitter side, but not a bad effort, I think.
Does your family cook? Your parents cook?
My mother, she cooked all the time. When I was back home, I never cook at home. So when, because she does all the cooking. She never let me to cook in her kitchen, so.
If you win this competition, do you think your mother will let you into the kitchen?
I hope not, no.
You hope not?
No.
Because you love Mum's cook. Because you love Mum's cooking.
As we know, certain mustards have certain degrees of heat and sharpness through them. I'd like to see them use different types, maybe the herbs, or even the seeds, just to bring a little kick and a little bite to dishes.
They can use it in a marinade, they can use it as a rub, they can put it into their sauce. We want them to be bold, we want them to push themselves and show some of their imagination.
It's thrown me a bit because I don't really like mustard. I never really eat it because I don't like it. So it's a challenge today to try and come up with a dish in just 10 minutes.
As soon as I walked in, I went straight for the sea trout. It's a very delicate flavour. People think mustard is quite an overpowering thing, but it can be used in quite a subtle way.
I'm really enjoying using mustard. Sri Lankan cuisine, we use a lot of mustard in some of the dishes. So yeah, I'm trying to use some of it with the pork belly.
Mustard can be overpowering, so I'm just going to have to make sure I balance the dishes as well as maximise each ingredient.
Aaron, how are you finding our challenge of mustard?
Very nerve-wracking. It's not an ingredient that I've used heavily, but I feel like it can be used as a spice and as a seasoning, so I'm replacing it into recipes and dishes that I know work. My dish is going to be confit sea trout. I'm going to be making a mustard beurre blanc using the Dijon and a little bit of the English mustard to give a little bit more kick. Going to be using the mustard seeds in some pickled onions, and then the mustard powder to go through a watercress mix, which is going to stuff a courgette flour.
Why the sea trout?
I feel like it's a nice, delicate flavour. I feel like it'll complement the mustard. Mustard can be overpowering, overbearingly bitter and harsh. Hopefully, these subtle things will work together with the addition of lemon and dill and some herbal notes going on.
But mustard's not subtle.
It's not, but we're going to try and...
Settle it down.
Yeah, make it not take over, hopefully.
A good hot mustard will work in a beurre blanc, and it will certainly work with a confit sea trout. It's all about quantities, getting the balance just right. The Dijon mustard has a heat to it, but the English mustard is hotter. Do they complement each other when you put them together? We'll soon find out.
"34-year-old Charit grew up in Sri Lanka and came to the UK in 2010 to follow his dream of becoming a chef. Dishes inspired by his heritage have so far been a hit with the judges.
As a chef, you can do anything you want. I have really good ideas about Sri Lankan food mixed with the British ingredients, so I think I'm gonna keep doing it. And yeah, I think I will be able to impress them.
Charit is making a pork curry. He's chosen lots of spices, and he's got a selection of mustards to go with it too. We've got a dal, we've got some steamed rice, and we've also got an onion salad. Love the sound of this dish. But what's going to be the ultimate flavour? Is it going to be the spices, or is it going to be the mustard?
In Sri Lankan cuisine, we use mustard quite a lot in the curry powders, and even when we make the curries, we use the mustard in different way, like a paste. So I'm using whole grain mustard, English mustard, and I'm using some of the black seed mustard as well.
It's smelling amazing on your section, and I love that you're bringing some of your Sri Lankan heritage into your food today.
Does your family cook? Your parents cook?
My mother, she cook all the time. When I was back home, I never cook at home. So when, because she does all the cooking, she never let me to cook in her kitchen. So.
If you win this competition, do you think your mother will let you into the kitchen?
I hope not. No.
You hope not?
No.
Because you love mum's cook. Because you love mum's cooking.
Yeah. So I don't want to cook at home actually.
First up is Private Chef Aaron, who has served his confit sea trout in a Dijon parsley vinaigrette with courgette flour, stuffed with a blend of watercress, spinach, cream, and Dijon, with pickled onion shavings, mustard seeds, and a beurre blanc made from Dijon and mustard powder.
The trout which you've confit is just melting away when you cut into it. It's beautifully cooked. And then you've got the little bit of the vinaigrette on the top with a bit of mustard in it. It's very light, but you can taste it there. Where the mustard really comes into this is in this beurre blanc. And it actually works very well with this trout, but it's not overpowering it.
Thank you. The courgette, beautifully cooked with the little mustard seeds on top, pepperiness of the watercress, the warmth of the mustard, the cream, holding it all together, and that stunning beurre blanc. It just sings on your palate. That, for me, is an outstanding piece of cookery, Aaron. That's a mustard masterclass.
The comments from Marcus were really, really positive. Well, they were amazing. I feel really elated to get that from him. I mean, yeah, it's great. It's banging.
Head chef Jamie's confit sea trout has been cured in English mustard, topped with a pickled mustard seed salad, a fennel, cucumber, radish, and baby beetroot, accompanied by celeriac remoulade made with English and whole grain mustard, with whipped ricotta, a water cracker coated in English mustard, and a German, English, and Dijon mustard dressing.
The trout is beautifully cooked, and it's just the light mustard, you know, going over the top of it, and then this refreshing garnish of the pickled salad works so well. The remoulade celeriac on the side, you've got the mustard seeds, and that brings, you know, the mustard flavour into this dish.
You've got a little mustard crest going along the top as well. Your ricotta is refreshing. The cracker, great addition. It brings texture to the plate. You could have put a little bit more heat into that. You could have done the same with the trout as well. You're a very good cook, Jamie, but I think you can take it a touch further now.
I'm feeling good. I tasted everything and I knew it was going to be good. But yeah, there are a few tweaks I could have made. It's hard not to play it safe under the pressure. So yeah, I'm just glad they liked it.
Last up is senior sous chef Charit, who has glazed his chili pork with English, whole grain and powdered mustard, and served it with a black mustard seed and spinach dal, chili and whole grain mustard heritage tomato and onion salad, rice, and a garnish of mustard cress.
Charit, your glazed pork belly with mustard and turmeric packs so much heat. It's so tender and it works so well in this. I love your mustard seed in this dal with a bit of spinach inside it. And then you have the tomato salad, which brings a bit of freshness and you think a bit of relief, and then you get a hit of a little more mustard and a bit more chili in there. Delightful.
I have a massive problem with this dish, and that's the fact I have to stop eating it. The mustard, you've used it as the spice, you've used it as the seasoning, you've used it very, very well.
Thanks, Chef.
Absolutely delicious. Wow.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm really happy because I did some of my mom-inspired cooking, so yeah, I'm really glad they enjoyed it. Probably now I'm probably getting an opportunity to cook for my mom in her kitchen. Yeah, in future.
Matt's lamb loin has been served with lamb fat roasted baby gem lettuce, peas à la française, made with pickled paradox leek seeds, sea lettuce, and a customary herb lamb sauce.
Matt, you've got 7 minutes left. You're looking very organised here. My goodness, so you're ready to go.
Scallops are just resting, so yeah, I'm looking good.
This is where you want to take your time and make it look beautiful on the plate.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt's first course, lovely sweet scallops, the luxury shellfish du jour. But what's he doing to them?
Is that the kohlrabi?
Yeah, to bring sort of like a little nutty tone to the dish.
And then, weirdly, from the dessert trolley, pickled and fresh green strawberries.
Tiny little bit of crunch.
But then he's bringing in the foraged side of things. Spignol, some kind of foraged plant. I don't think I've ever eaten spignol before.
Matt, you happy with how it's turned out?
Yes, I think it looks nice, yeah.
Right, sell him your scallop dish.
Matt's starter is pan-seared scallops served with roasted kohlrabi turnip, pickled green strawberries, champagne and chamomile sauce, and spignol.
That's the food I like to eat, so I'm hoping you enjoy the same thing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt. I'm going to try the spignol. Well, you know, fennel tops.
Scallops, beautifully cooked. With the pickled and fresh green strawberries, you do get a nice little sharp blast of flavour from them.
The thing that I'm most impressed with is the champagne sauce. Rich, intense, and luxurious. The spignol, there's a little bit of a kind of herbal aniseed edge to it, but I don't know what it offers beyond being an interesting talking point.
But he clearly has the skills. You know, put that man through a skills test and he'll pass them all.
The spignol has an aniseed flavour, but it's an unusual note. What I think it works really well with is the strawberry, but you can still taste the scallop at the centre of the dish.
And when you put the sauce on, everything works really well together. It's a very clever chef, Matt. Matt, 15 minutes for your lamb course. We all right?
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Good, good.
Roasted lamb loin, peas à la française, two kind of cornerstones of kind of classical technique, could be very, very nicely done.
carving the lamb now, that's about to go on, then it's just a case of garnish, sauce in the jugs, and then off we go.
Costmary is a new one on me. I think it's some sort of herb.
The flavour I get is a cross between rosemary and mint.
I really don't care that you went and ferreted out some of your ingredients from a hedgerow where the foxes pee. What I want to know is it going to taste nice with the lamb, and have you cooked the lamb accurately?
It's looking great. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy with the cooking of the lamb. I'm happy with the seasoning on and everything. Off you go.
Matt's lamb loin has been served with lamb fat roasted baby gem lettuce, peas à la Francais, made with pickled paradox leek seeds, sea lettuce, and a customary herb lamb sauce.
The lamb is perfectly cooked.
Really good.
I think his peas have a kind of pop to them and a crunch.
And I really, really love those little mini pickled leek seeds, the little gem and that kind of real grounding blast of, like, lamb fat.
I love the sauce. It's a very nice, classic, sticky lamb jus with a slightly bitter end. But I'm not really picking up massive hits of anything that would make me go, wow, what unique piece of undergrowth has Matt put in this sauce.
Matt was being very careful not to put too much cosmary in the sauce. It's very, very subtle.
He should have been a little bit more adventurous with that herb. Good dish, though. The lamb is absolutely sensational. It is melting in the mouth.
Oh, God. That was hard work, that. I've done everything I think I can, so only time will tell.